The following Agios-supported podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Please speak with your healthcare professional before making any treatment decisions. The guests on today's show were paid to participate in this podcast.
Hey Thal Pals, it's your fellow patient advocate, NinaMaria. You're listening to Thal Pals, the Alpha Beta Revolution. We're back again with another great episode, and this time my co-host, Dr. Kevin Kuo, is off, so I'm taking this one solo. Today we have two special guests with us, Yasmeen and Paris. They're going to tell us all about Cooley's Care Walks, what they are, why you want to take part in one. But before we get into all of that, let's learn a little bit more about our guests. Yasmeen and Paris, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name is Yasmeen Anisha. I grew up in Florida where I was diagnosed with beta thalassemia major when I was 6 months old. And I just lived life until then. My parents didn't really tell a lot of people about my having thalassemia, so we just kept it within our immediate family circle. And then I moved out of my parents' house to go to college in St. Augustine, which is a beautiful college, Flagler College, and that's really when I started telling people more about my thalassemia and about all the things that I go through on a day-to-day basis with thalassemia, and then like how it affects me overall. And then once I graduated from Flagler College, I moved over to the Tampa Bay area and I became a classroom teacher, and I absolutely loved being in the classroom. And then I met the love of my life and he whisked me away to Michigan. So now I live in Michigan, adjusting to the rough winters. It's very different than living in Florida. And then I also moved out of the classroom into a school library setting after getting my master's degree in library science. So that's my personal life, and then all of that has been like transitioning doctors and treatments and all of that in between, and just being part of the thalassemia community, attending conferences since I started being more vocal about my thalassemia. So I've been attending all the conferences and help a lot with the children's sessions at the conferences, and now I'm a board member for the Cooley's Anemia Foundation, so that's really exciting. And I just love the thalassemia community. It's really a diamond in the rough. You think that having an illness is really difficult and tough, which it is, but it has such a strong, close-knit community that comes with it, and it really is a blessing, and it's my diamond in the rough.
That's incredible. I just love to hear how you talk about your experience. You just light up, and we're so great to have you here. I feel like you and I have a very similar experience when it comes to growing up with thalassemia and being quiet about it and coming into it, on your own and embracing it. And it's wonderful to hear.
I am the marketing and communications manager here at Cooley's Anemia Foundation. It's funny the timing of this podcast, but a year ago I was actually hired. So almost coming up on a year being in the community, working for the Cooley's Anemia Foundation, which has been amazing, by the way. I've met so many great people. My first month working there, I actually was able to attend our Great Patient Family Conference, which is coming up next month. And that was my first kind of taste of not only really learning more about thalassemia, but getting to meet the patients as well. So I felt like that was the perfect event to connect with the community, whether it be doctors, whether it be nurses, whether it be the companies, the sponsors that we have, or more people on our board, more of my coworkers. So it was such a great event to attend. I got to meet so many lovely patients, so many lovely just people in the community have been nothing but great. And for me, it's great to work in this position and do the marketing and do the social media, because I think that's the great channel to really spreading awareness, which is a theme that's going to be brought up a lot in this podcast. Is Care Walk in general is our biggest way, one of our biggest channels, one of our biggest ways of fundraisers to actually spread awareness for the community. And it's also a very interactive and fun way to do it as well. And you'll hear more about that as we go on. But yeah, that's just a little brief explanation about me. And yeah, I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having us again.
Agios is a biopharmaceutical company that's fueled by connections with patient communities, healthcare professionals, partners, and each other. Building on these connections and the company's unmatched leadership in the field of cellular metabolism, Agios is pioneering therapies of genetically defined diseases, a broad group of rare and more common diseases that are typically severe and life-threatening. Near term, Agios is focusing on hemolytic and acquired anemias, including thalassemia, pyruvate kinase or PK deficiency, and sickle cell disease. To learn more, visit agios.com. That's agios.com.
Let's get into why we're here, the Cooley's Care Walks. Paris, can you just explain a little bit about what they are?
Sure. So they actually started in about around 2011 by our treasurer slash committee member founder, our Care Walk committee founder, Janice Sanzaprano. And it's basically our annual fundraising event, an opportunity to bring together the thalassemia community, the supporters, and pretty much anyone that wants to get involved around the country to help us raise funds. Our mission in general for Cooley's is to advocate as much as we can to find a universal cure for all thalassemia patients and all those affected with thalassemia. So basically with Care Walk, you have either the option of registering for a walk, which consists of either starting your own walk and joining it, or already joining a team that's already planned a walk. So for example, if this past weekend we had our California chapter president, leader, Maria Sarah DePons, she did her care walk in San Diego. For example, you either had the opportunity of joining her walk, which was already planned if you're in the San Diego area, or you could have created your own walk. Say like you live in, I don't know, if you live in Texas, you have the option of starting your own fundraising. And the good thing about that is we're able to help you, whether you need like a certification, you need coverage for a specific park you want to do, or again, like we're going to go into details, you can either start your own care walk in your own backyard. That's the great thing about care walk. It's so versatile, it's so easy to do, and it's fun also because they were able to have a little kind of like a carnival slash park event, which was a great turnout. You see it on social media on our handles. But yeah, you either have the option of either starting your own walk, you can join a team, or you could just simply donate and support Care Walk. If you're not able to join one, if you're not able to get out there, you could also have the option of simply just donating, and that's the good way of also supporting Care Walk as well.
Awesome. And Yasmeen, can you jump off of that and explain how does someone who wants to get involved, how can they find one near them? And if there's not one, how can they start their own?
Yeah, so Paris has a great list of all the care walks happening and what dates they're on the Cooley's Anemia website. And so if you're curious if there's a walk happening near you, you can just go on the Cooley's Anemia website and find that database of all the care walks happening. He's got a map even, so you can just see it on the map. There was one when I was first looking for my first care walk, and there was nothing happening near where I was in Florida. And so I joined virtually with another friend who was having his in Michigan actually. And you can just donate to mine, I'll send you your shirt, and then you can walk wherever you are. And so I was like, that's a really great idea. So even though there wasn't a walk near me, I joined his walk, and then I walked in my own backyard. So I think that's a really great way to get started with your first care walk. And then if you are feeling confident enough, like the next year I was feeling confident enough to I can do my own team this year. And it was literally just me and my parents, the three of us, walking around our little lake in our backyard. And we just signed up under Team Yasmeen, and we just started walking around our backyard when it was Care Walk Day. So it's really easy to get started. It doesn't have to be a massive event. You could eventually build up to it, or you could keep it small. So I love how versatile and flexible it is.
Awesome. And Paris, does it require, in order to be involved, are you required to do your own fundraising and bring in the support of your friends and family? Is that optional? What does that look like?
So basically with that is, the good thing about it is you do have the option of joining somebody else's walk, but in addition to fundraising, it's more about bringing the community together. Like Yasmeen was saying, she brings her friends and family together. That alone it's groundbreaking. It means a lot to bring community together, because in addition to just raising funds, we're also trying to raise awareness, because a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't know what thalassemia is. So when you see a bunch of people together wearing the same t-shirt, it's like you want to ask questions. It's like, where did you get this t-shirt? What does this mean? What does a blood drop mean? What is a care walk? The amount of numbers you get at a care walk, or even if it's you're posting constantly on social media what it's about, that's just raising awareness for just the discussion, merely the discussion. And I think another goal of CAF is to raise awareness for what thalassemia is, because again, it's such a small blood disorder that a lot of people unfortunately don't really know what it's about. The average person unfortunately doesn't, and that's what we're trying to do here at CAF, is to really get it out there and get as much support as we can. So the numbers mean a lot. The amount of the community is a big aspect, is a big part of CAF in general that we stress all the time, is join a community, join a group of people, help us get the word out there. And the good thing about Care Walk is, in addition to that, we also encourage people to have fun with it. Whether it's a theme of having a party, whether it's a theme of just getting together for a barbecue, just get this shirt, you're able to register, get the shirts, wear the shirts at the barbecue, whether it's a birthday party, any type of event that you're already going to do this summer. And that's a great thing about starting in May, is that a lot of people are active, a lot of people want to join together, a lot of people miss their friends. The weather's nice. It's a perfect season for gatherings like this, and why not do a gathering and also help to spread awareness for a genetic blood disorder? I think that's a win right there.
Even if you're raising awareness to just one other person, I think that's a win.
Yes.
Some of the friends that I had at my Care Walk this year, they were willing to donate and participate, and they were like, on the day of, they're like, by the way, can you tell us more about thalassemia? We're here to support you, but can you tell us more about it? So I told them about what I go through every day and what other thalassemia patients go through every day. And this year we walked at more of a public, it was a botanical garden, so there was a lot more public out there. And they, while we were walking with our matching shirts, and we had a Cooley's anemia banner, and some people were like, oh, I have anemia. And they just saw the Cooley's anemia, so they, thought of it as different anemia, but still they were like, I have that. And then we told them this is actually thalassemia, and then we told them a little bit more about it. It was really cool to just interact with people who weren't even part of our walk and just tell them what thalassemia is and what Cooley's Anemia Foundation does. It was really neat to raise awareness in that way too.
I find that it can always be a little bit intimidating sharing that part, but what I found is when people see, they're intrigued, they want to know more, and they come with compassion and care and interest. So it's always a great experience to be able to share that and spread awareness to people who have probably never heard of the word thalassemia in their life.
Yeah. And even spreading awareness, even if they don't donate financially, a lot of my friends have started donating blood on a regular basis now too. They're like, we can't donate every month or anything, but we would donate blood whenever the cycle comes around to donate blood. So now they are full-time blood donors too. So that's another perk of raising awareness. Not only are they helping the thalassemia community with blood donations, but so many other patients with other things are getting that benefit as well. So
definitely donating blood is very important. That's something we're stressing a lot. We're really promoting that a lot here at CAF, and through blood drives, through that's another thing I think we're doing this at the Care Walk, is that we're getting a list of places that people can donate blood, like certain blood banks. Or what do you do the day of donating blood? What do you do the day before? Because a lot of people, it's already anxiety inducing to donate blood. So I think it's helpful to spread more knowledge on how to prepare for it. What should you do before? What should you do after? What you should do during the day? We're getting as much information out there as possible to make it easier for people to not only get awareness of donating blood and why they should, but also what do you do then? Where do you go? And these are questions that people want to know. These are questions that people ask all the time. So why not help them out? Why not give them that push? So this is something that we're starting to do at our Care Walks, is we're giving this information to the attendees, the people that are supporting us already.
And a lot of Care Walks have started doing blood drives at the Care Walk too. Even my tiny Care Walk in Florida, we had the blood bus come out, and there was only 10 people walk in, and maybe half of them donated, but each unit of blood saves 3 lives. We saved 15 lives right there with my little group of 10 people. And I know in California they have the big Care Walk, they have a blood drive come out, they have a blood bus come out, and a lot of walks have blood buses come out. And I think that's a great way to tie both things in together. Donate blood, donate money, raise awareness, have fun.
That's incredible. And like you said, it's so clear that fundraising is the goal, and that's so important. But this event is so much more. There's so much that progress that's being created just through these walks, which is really exciting and incredible. Yes, what would you say to someone who wants to be involved in the walk, but they're a little bit scared. Maybe they're nervous to ask their friends, or maybe they're nervous to join a group of people they don't know. What's your advice to them?
I think that was me, and I was in that situation. My very first care walk, I didn't know anyone. I was like, it's just me and my parents. It's not as big as some of the other ones I'm seeing online, and it was discouraging sometimes when you're starting out and you're seeing all these huge flood care walks happening, and you're like, it's just me this year. It's just me and my parents. And I think that's still like a great start, and that you should still go for it. Like, even if it's just you and your parents, even if it's just you and your like spouse or whatever, I think that is one step into the door. And the thalassemia community is like so inviting. I've never been part of a more inviting community. My first Cooley's Anemia conference was the first time I ever met anyone with thalassemia before. And I walked out of that conference with a whole new contact book. I had so many new Facebook friend requests and so many new phone numbers. And it's not one of those things that's, oh yeah, I have your phone number and we'll never text. We'll see each other next year at the conference. I talk to these people almost once a week. Every single week I'm talking to someone with thalassemia, because that's the kind of a relationship that I've built with some of the friends that I've had that's with thalassemia. And I've never been part of such a more inviting and welcoming community. So if you are afraid of joining a care walk that is already set up and it's full of people that you don't know, then just go for it. Or even if you don't want to go for it, you can at least participate, get your shirt, and then go home if you want to do that even. But I would recommend highly to put your foot over there and get over there and just introduce yourself, and you'll be pleasantly surprised with how welcoming they are.
I feel like it's such a special feeling to be able to relate to someone in that way and feel so seen and heard, and
you feel validated.
Anytime
I had never met anyone else with thalassemia. I was 22 years old, never met anyone else. And then I walk away with lifelong friendships that I went to their weddings, they've come to my weddings. It's been such a really eye-opening experience, and I am so sad that I didn't get over there earlier.
It's just being at the conference and being in the presence of seeing so many people, seeing so many of those affected by thalassemia just joining together. It's like a great gathering of just sharing, literally being with people that can relate to you. And I think that connection is a huge part of what we do, and I think that's why I love just being like, it was my first time even seeing a lot of the attendees, and I just felt welcomed. I felt welcomed, and I wasn't even in a part of the community, and just to see so many nice people be there, it was just great. It really made me, I came out of that conference just feeling so happy, and that I was a part of this family. So it's a family. That's the thing about CAF. Like, it's such a family. And
I was literally about to say the same thing. Like, I feel like people say that about a lot of things, but it really is a family. There's no other way to describe it.
It's such a family, and Care Walk in general, like, it's like the family reunion almost, and it literally, like, you have the barbecues, you have the parks, and you're all together, like, wearing the same shirt. So I'd like to also say that look at Care Walk, a family reunion, like, treat it like that, and it's not going to be as anxiety inducing to create one. It's almost like you're gathering with your friends. It's like a night out. Oh, let's go to this bar. Let's also wear our t-shirts. And then you have other people around, and you're like, oh, like, why are you guys all wearing the same t-shirt? Conversation starter. Now you're going to learn about what thalassemia is. You're going to learn about why we're doing what we're doing. And it's as simple as that. Just walking in with the CAF t-shirt, the Care Walk t-shirt, it's a conversation starter. So I think that's another thing that people can understand, or like people can take away from that, is that it's just as simple as wearing a t-shirt and just like literally one-to-one, like Yasmeen said. One-on-one is just as great as not spreading awareness at all. So.
And I love if you have other Thal Pals in the community. There's a couple in Michigan now, so I was like, oh, you guys should all come to my Care Walk. Even if you don't bring anyone, just come by yourself. I am happy to have you. And I discovered another thalassemia family that lived 30 minutes away from me, and they're like, wow, can we help plan for next year? And I was like, yes, of course. Come on board. Join the Care Walk chaos, the good chaos.
Getting treatment is not necessarily a way to find other patients. So this is a great outlet to find people in your area that you might not even know about that are going through the same exact things that you are.
Yeah.
Paris, can you tell us a little bit more details? You said this is a summer event. How long do we have to jump on the bandwagon and start or join a walk? And also, when it comes to that event, how long does that walk need to be? Is it required you have to walk an hour or 20 minutes or 2 miles, or what's the deal?
Oh, so the great thing about that is there's no requirements on the duration of your walk day. If you want to make it an all-day thing, go right ahead. If you want to make it 15 minutes, go right ahead. You want to do a lap around your backyard, go right ahead. And that's the great thing about it. It's so versatile. It's so easy to do. In terms of the duration of how long Care Walk, the campaign is running, or Care Walk, the fundraiser is running. So the good thing about that is, I want to say we're flexible with that, because initially we promoted it to start on May 5th and be in May, right? So May is a busy month. You have graduations, you have retirement parties, you have all of these things that are already going on that maybe you don't have the time. So the good thing about that is we encourage potential team captains, or we encourage potential people that want to register to give us reach out to us, email us. What day do you want to do? What day is great for you? So we have a catchphrase. It's your walk, your way. So we stress out. We really make it so important that this is literally at your comfort, and all we're gonna do is help you get to that destination, get you to do the walk on whatever day you want to do, whatever's convenient for you. As long as you're getting out there, as long as you're spreading awareness, as long as you're getting the message out there, we're okay with it. Basically, what I'm saying is, from now till November, even sometime, I know we had one in December last year by somebody new that walked. Her name was Gina Ortega. She did her walk in Florida, and I think that was in November, December. So honestly, it's whenever you want to do it, as long as you let us know. Sign up through Classy, sign up through the Care Walk, and start your team. And the good thing about that is, I didn't mention, team captains are the fun thing about Care Walk is you can name your team Yasmeen, or you have Rad's Army, you have all these cool names. What is it? I can't think of a lot of them off the top of my head, but you just have all these cool. Yeah, I think we had Vampy Gene Club. So I know Thalassemia, you guys refer to yourselves as vampires sometimes. I thought that was such a cool name. No, when I started, I was like, wow, that's so cool. I like that. I like creative stuff like that. We had a team called Vampy Gene Club by Nika Leonard, and she did her walk on May 5th. So the good thing about that is you can name your team whatever you want. You can come up with your own logos. And again, I don't say all that to put the pressure on you. You can do something very simple, but the part is that you can get as creative as you want at your convenience. As long as you're just literally, like you said, wearing a shirt, or you get the shirt and you're just doing like a little walk around the block. It doesn't have to be a whole day. It could be 15 minutes, whatever's convenient for you. And what I'm saying is your walk, your way, literally.
All right. Yasmeen, what has been some of the positive experiences that you've gotten from this event as a patient with thalassemia?
I think back to the first care walk that I had in Florida, like the one that I actually invited more than just my parents to. I invited some of like my work friends and some close friends, and I was like, oh, no one's gonna show up. Like, no one cares about me or what I go through. Like, they just found out that I was sick in the first place. Like, I've been hiding this my whole life, and they just found out about it. So I don't think they'll care or whatever. And I was like pleasantly surprised with how much like my friends and family like showed up, and yeah, we're here for you, whether they donated financially or donated blood or just came and got a shirt and participated in our picnic lunch. Like, whatever way they came up, they showed out, and I just felt like an overwhelming feeling of love and gratitude for the people in my life, that they cared about me enough to like spend a Saturday afternoon with me at a park. So I just like that feeling like keeps growing every year as I like invite more people, and like my husband invited friends from his job, and this year was our biggest walk yet, and I was like, we had about 40 people at our walk this year, which like I think back to my first walk, like joining virtually with another friend, and then my other walking with my parents, and now we're at 40 people, and I'm like every year feeling an overwhelming amount of love and support for the people that I have in my life. I think that just it's a great feeling to have once a year. People are here to support you with whatever you need, and that there are people in your life, whether they're Thal Pals or your friends or family that are at work or at school or whatever it is. It's just a good way to hang out together and know that you are loved and supported.
Amazing. And for those out there who have maybe been doing their walks in a smaller way and want to grow the event for themselves and their community, do you have any tips on ways that they can do that?
I've moved like 3 different times, so each place I go, I like plant a seed of people and I keep going back to them and I'm like, do you want to virtually join the care walk or like come up to where I am now and join the care walk? So it kind of grew because my husband continuously makes me move. But even then, like I think just the more people you meet, the more people that like are stopping us on the street. Oh, what's Cooley's Anemia Foundation? And they're like, oh, I might want to donate. And then it just starts a conversation piece, and I try to catch their name or email address and let them know the next year care walk's coming around. Just also like at work, I'll post a flyer and see who shows up now, and just see what I catch. I like throw a wide net out there and see what happens.
Awesome. Paris?
I'm gonna be biased with my answer, but I think another great way of doing that is through social media. Literally, simply just talking about it. Whether it's you on a video explaining I'm walking, here's why I'm care walking, which is a campaign we've been doing, CAF has been doing, is getting people to do testimonials, which I think is very important and very effective. People are literally on the screen talking about why they're care walking, whether they lost somebody, unfortunately, to thalassemia, or they have thalassemia and they want to just spread more awareness, or it's somebody's next door neighbor and, hey, I want to help my neighbor who has thalassemia spread awareness. And this is why I'm doing this. I'm organizing this. I think getting on social media, also posting your flyer, tagging as many people as you can, reaching out to government officials or reaching out to people that are empowered and literally explaining like, oh, I'm doing this at this park. Could we get some exposure? Anything from that all the way to literally just a simple post on social media, whether it's you just on doing a reel, whether it's you posting a graphic or even just a text saying, hey, I'll be here doing my care walk at this day. Literally simple IG story or TikTok, I think is definitely effective in getting more people to not only learn what thalassemia is, but also to join your care walk and really just boost the attendance numbers. I think that's a great way.
I think it's also important to stress though, if you just want to keep it small and keep it your family, that's okay too. There's no pressure to make it into a giant, massive event. Like, you can keep it to your family and friends and have a movie night or a barbecue in your backyard, and that's perfectly great as well. So if that's the vibe that you're going for, there's that. If you want to throw a big carnival in the park, there's that vibe, and that's what, like, care walk is, your walk your way. So there's no pressure to do anything.
So many options. I love it. So Paris, you mentioned that this is Cooley's Anemia's biggest fundraiser, correct?
One of them. I want to say one of them.
So what did the funds go to?
The funds, they go directly to medical research funding. We're trying to strive our best to find a universal cure for all of those affected by thalassemia. But they also go toward some of our patient services. We have treatment travel support for those that unfortunately aren't able to get to their treatment centers, whether it's due to a lack of funds, whether it's due to this, but we make it easier for the patients. And we also have patient incentive awards, conference sponsorships. So we definitely make sure that the funds go to our patients and their needs, as well as also funding medical research for a universal cure. So that's the great thing about participating, and the great thing about spreading awareness is your dollar is definitely going toward the affecting the lives and making the lives of thalassemia patients much easier to obviously allow them to live longer and healthier lives. So I think that's the biggest mission that we strive for here at CAF, is to make sure that our patients are well taken care of and they have the amount of resources that they need to continue to thrive and to continue to survive. So that's basically where our funds go to.
And I can speak on those funds. The first conference that I ever went to was because of a CAF conference sponsorship. And that completely changed my life. And now I do everything I can to give back to the community that has welcomed me with open arms. It's phenomenal what that money does. It goes such a long way, and it can truly change someone's life, from whether they're going to see a thalassemia specialist for the first time, or funding a scholarship for college, or funding their first conference. Like, all of that is life-changing for the patients that are receiving the benefits from the care walk.
Awesome. And the care walk is an incredible opportunity for patients and advocates and friends and family. Are there any other programs that you offer to patients?
I named a few of them. I named one of the most important ones, in my opinion, which are, again, the treatment travel support, patient incentive awards, which are great for anybody that has thalassemia that wants to further their career goals or their education goals. Again, the sponsorship, like the conference sponsorship, as Yasmeen said, that's your way of getting into the patient family conference, and that's just a great way to not only connect with your community, to learn more about the treatment options, but also to network. I think it's a great way to connect with doctors or nurses in the communities as well. And then again, we also support ongoing grants and fellowships, specifically for clinical research and clinical trials in thalassemia, and of course, gene therapy research as well. One thing I want to mention, or a couple things I want to mention, is one, for anybody watching, please go follow our social pages. Please go on thalassemia.org to learn more. That is our home for you to not only learn more about thalassemia, but to get involved as well. We have our patient family conference coming up on July 12th. Care Walk is still ongoing, so you can get more information on that and figure out if you see a walk nearby, definitely contact the team captain, and they'll be more than happy to get you involved and more than happy to have you join them. Our next walks will be, I believe on August 10th, we have one coming up in New Jersey. If anybody wants to start a walk in July, please reach out to me at pbooker@thalassemia.org, and I can definitely help you out and get you started. And again, also, please spread the word on social media. We're doing an ongoing campaign where we're asking people why they're care walking. So it's just a small testimonial video, 30 seconds, just really explaining why you want to care walk or why you want to get involved, and send it to me again at the same email, Paris, pbooker@thalassemia.org. So we're trying to really boost the engagement, really trying to boost the awareness for the community and those affected by thalassemia. We're trying our hardest to spread the word and to continue to give the resources that the community needs. Definitely continue to donate blood, continue to donate funds. Please just continue to do what you're doing, and we're very happy to answer any questions that you need or any questions that you may have.
Paris, Yasmeen, thank you guys so much for joining us today. You've been incredibly informative, and we really appreciate your efforts. Everyone out there, you heard them. Go get out there, go do your walk. I'm going to do the same, and we'll catch you on the next episode. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to share with your friends and family, and join us again.